Definitely need to upgrade your filters on your laptop, Mr. Brown.
We need to put some filters on.
Full stop.
Okay, should we should we move on? I think we'll move on. So we were gonna. I think we're like I think we've been speaking about, and we just spoke about Levy and all of that. So we're in the transfer window where we're 10 days in, so we're not even halfway through, and people are starting to mildly panic as they tend to do. But I mean, it looks like Bergwijn's off. Do you think that's a good decision from the club? For us, for him, doesn't look like he's gonna. Is it a missed opportunity? Could he still set the world alight?
It's a strange one, really. I mean, maybe he's going because somebody wants him, and some of the ones that we think should go aren't going because nobody wants them. But I would have thought he would have been one of the more marginal decisions, especially midway through a season, because he's clearly useful in some respects. I don't know. It seems an odd one, really does. I wonder whether or not it's happening because there is somebody coming in that will do whatever job he is capable of doing. I hope so, anyway. Right
wing back job. I think there was a tweet. I don't know if it's a tweet or if it's on our group chat, but someone mentioned, why are we paying 18 million for Adama Traore when we could probably, convert Bergwijn to right wing back, and he can probably cross the ball. He virtually played that role under Mourinho, didn't he? When he played there, because he spent more time defending than he did attacking in that wide area under Mourinho. So it's not like he won't already have previous or past experience. So you're right, Rich. They must have intentions to bring someone in next summer when. Yeah. Immediately.
Possibly just January 2023. Yeah.
It's possibly just opportunistic. Some people are sniffing around and are interested and willing to pay him. Where does he quite fit in? I know Conte seemed to be grooming him, and he mentioned as a striker. So if we needed someone instead of Kane, but I'm not sure he is really a striker. He needs a bit of conversion to go on there. But so I could see that he's not one of those that we would immediately be, looking to shift out, or it's going to be a problem if he stays. But if the right money came in for him, and he doesn't, he's not really got nailed down a place at the moment, then opportunistically, I think we could probably use the money elsewhere, and I could see that probably happening.
Okay, cool. Simon, were you about to venture an opinion?
No, I think I agree with Lee's point of view. I think that at this point, if we've got the manager which we've covered, which has been coveted, and we've got a director for which we've coveted, and they are making some strategic decisions how the team is going to cycle over the next 2 or 3 windows, I would be prepared to trust them in that and see where it goes, because they watch these players day in, day out. They've tried various different things on the training pitch. They'll know what works. So as much as we might like the character and think he has got something in him, I guess they have looked around and recognized that we can do better, and that is something they're prepared to do. And that's just not on that spot. That's on a number of different spots. Yeah. So we can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, you could have converted him into this, that, and the other. And on the other hand, say our squad is crap and we're not getting anywhere. It has to be one or the other. So if it's the latter, then you've got to be prepared to sacrifice the players that the management just don't think are going to cut it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, good stuff. I'll go on, Rich. Jump in there, son, quickly.
Yeah, just before you move on from that, I just wanted to just quickly flip the coin on that as well and say it may also be that Conte and him have had a discussion and he's decided that he doesn't want to stay and be converted.
Yeah.
Because
it's also true.
There's this opportunity. If his agent said to him X, Y, and Z are looking at you, you might go back into Europe. You might get more first 11 game time. It's a World Cup year. he's not obviously getting any opportunities here. So just, the other side of the coin, we don't know,
Good
do
point.
we? He might not have fancied the job.
And he's going back home, really. He's going, the interest is back in Holland, isn't it? So it's not like he's, going to Spain or going to, Italy or whatever. It's an opportunity to go back to Holland, and that, as you say, gives them exposure for, in a World Cup year. So, okay, cool stuff. So keeping on the theme of transfers, do we want to do this today? Because we've been here quite a while. We want to do the transfer today, or should we do we shelve that for another week?
Save it for next week. Maybe.
Simon's always in a hurry. He's always in a hurry.
I'm not in a hurry. We've just been here for an hour and 10. I didn't.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We definitely haven't been here for an hour and 10 because we didn't start on time, but we'll be an hour and 15 by the time we're finished. Okay, good stuff. So the next thing then, I think really, we haven't got any on this days, so we'll just crack on to our previews, unless, Lee, you've got anything that you wanted to quickly raise, because you're looking at me very studiously.
No, that's just I'm just got a glazed look. The only thing I was going to mention, but whether we want to deal with it another time, would be if Conte is backed, what's our ceiling? What it's the height of our ambition? Do we think it's just a few cups, or do we think that the sort of backing he might get would put us into regular league contenders and Champions League contenders like City and Liverpool? Is that the sort of backing do we think that we're heading for, or just enough to make us competitive for a few cups?
Personally, I think it'll be, we'll be league contenders. But I think we'll be league contenders. I think we'll be top 4 contenders, and I think we will get a couple of cups in there. But I see us being really competitive. If he's properly backed, then I see us being contenders, actually, which would be quite nice.
Yeah,
just my opinion. I guess the others aren't going to join in, so we'll jump straight on.
Simon's drifted off.
I've said what I've said.
Okay, good stuff.
Just to come in very quickly on it then. So I was waiting for Simon first. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see that there's any difference in between the two things anymore. Is there really clear space in between clubs that win a few cups and are top 4 contenders and serious contenders for a league or a Champions League? I think in order to be contenders for one, you've got to be contenders for them all now, because apart from your occasional plucky little Arsenal winning an FA Cup, it's the big boys that win them all, isn't it? So you're going to be competitive in all of those competitions. You've got to be competitive in all of them. So it's the same ceiling. I mean, traditionally, I think that's quite an old-fashioned way of looking at the game, and it's the way that I've always looked at it as well, that Spurs were a cup team. We were always a cup team, weren't we? But I don't think that world exists anymore, does it?
That just means we weren't consistently good, really, doesn't it? I mean, it means that we were good enough for maybe 6 or 7, 7 or 8 games in a season, but actually couldn't put together, 25, 30 really good games. And so, it's not really that much of a compliment to be a cup team. A cup team.
I think that's where Rich is right, though, is that the elite have moved so far ahead now, they just mop everything up.
Well, when you mean the elite, you mean Man City, basically.
Man City, Liverpool.
Man City and Chelsea. Yeah. Money talks. Okay, good stuff. Okay, so on to predictions then. So we second leg of the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. Anyone going? I shall be there. I'm going to be there, Goblin, this week. You're not going? No one's going.
No,
just me.
Sorry, no.
Proper fan me this week.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to be more enjoyable for me is watching the second leg of that, or the rare dentist appointment that I've got to get my head drilled a couple of hours before it, which is stopping me from attending the game because I was offered a ticket for it, but it's so rare that you can have somebody take a drill to your teeth these days that you've just got to go for that when it's there, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I know what I'd choose.
At least you're going to get some anaesthetic at the dentist, Steve.
Alcoholic anaesthetic will be mine for me. Okay, so before you're anaesthetized out of it, what would be your prediction for the game on Wednesday, Rich?
Oh, Mr. Optimistic, I think we might beat them. I don't think we've probably got enough to turn the tie over, but I think we might just beat them, and go out with our heads held high. That's as much as I'm willing to say.
That's a 1-0 then, or a 2-1 or something like that?
Yeah, so I think 2-1 might be more likely.
Okay, cool. Simon?
Yeah, sort of in the same space. I don't think I think we'll learn a lot from last week. I'm not sure we've got enough to turn it around. I don't know. I'm gonna. If I'm hopeful, I think we'll maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm kidding myself. I don't know really. I'm gonna say it's going to be a draw.
On the night or in total?
No, on the night. I just think they're going to come at us. I just don't think we're going to be able to turn this one around. I'm not usually this pessimistic, but for this particular game, I don't think we are going to come out. I don't think we're going to be able to progress beyond Wednesday.
Okay, cool. Lee?
Yeah, I think if we'd have got a goal at their place, then I would have been a lot more optimistic about it. But I don't see them not scoring. And that leaves us then with at least 3 goals we have to find. I think that's a bit of a tall order, but I think we could win it 2-1 on the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to buck the trend just because someone needs to. But I think if Dyer's back, I think we've got a chance. And I can see us keeping a clean sheet if Dyer's back. And then it's just a case of what we do at the other end. So, how ambitious will we be and how focused will we be? So, I think we'll win 2-0 on the night, and then I think we are going to go through on penalties. Jorginho will fuck it.
Jorginho,
yeah, he'll miss the decisive penalty. So, yeah. We're going to win on penalties, 5-4. All right,
that'd be lovely. That would be lovely.
Not if you're in the stadium. I can't stand penalties. Anyway,
who can?
Okay, and so we followed that up with North London Derby. Anyone going to that game?
Yes.
Sweet. You're having more teeth drilled, Rich. You deliberately arranging not to be at games and having teeth.
I only go to the ones that that are a gimme, like Morecombe or
right, yeah, no, makes sense. Good idea. Yeah. Turn up for the last 15 minutes.
Okay. Fucking hell, it's a long drive from where I am. You can't, you can't go down there and have your head punched out and then have to spend all that time queuing on the M40 on the way home. It's just not good for the soul.
So, Lee, we'll come to you first. What's your prediction?
I think we owe them one. I think we'll be well up for it. I don't know if Romero's back by that point. He's due back soon, isn't he? I'm going to say 3-1 to us. Sweet,
cool. Rich?
It is similar to Lee in that I think we owe them one. I think we will beat them. I think it'll be a bit closer. I think it'll be 2-1. And I think, it might be a bit sort of squeaky at the end. I think we might be hanging on to it a bit. But I mean, they gave us such a seeing to earlier in the season that we can't just let that go, can we?
Hope not. I hope not. Simon?
So, I mean, Arsenal through December have had some pretty good form, but the last couple of games have probably knocked them a little bit, and I quite like that. So I think we're going to keep that trend running. And as it's always